What is up, Dream Team? Another day of 100 push-ups. Just got out of work. It was a pretty wild day. Made some crazy cuts, but it all worked out like it always does if you plan it out right. So let's do it, Dream Team. Let's get it. Am I doing this way? All right, here we go. That's 10.
Right? E-closing. All right? So we explain away their concerns, and then finally, we get the yes. We reinforce the decision. This is stuff that we started doing, and it helped a lot. So, personalized video from the CEO. Hey, welcome aboard. So happy to have you. Thank you for trusting us with your business. Hey, we're so happy to have you. Thank you for trusting us with your weight loss journey. I know how personalized this is. We're going to do everything in our power to absolutely amaze you. Right? Little things like that. Because the customer's usually deciding whether or not they like your business in the first 48 hours after the sale. I learned this later. So how you hand off from sale to customer experience and activation is where this all happens. Does that make sense? Is that cool? Was that nice little framework to work through? Okay, so that's the disclosure framework. That is the first thing. That's what you can run your script through. All right, how to ask the questions, get the prospects to say yes. Check. One down, two to go. You with me? We still good? All right, let's rock. So conviction framework number 2. How anyone who believes can outperform a seasoned sales rep by simply learning to control their tone. All right. So after I reworked all of our scripts in the closure framework, some of my guys were really successful, but other ones still blew. And I was like, well, this sucks, right? I was really excited. I had a little acronym and everything. I was like, that took me a long time to come with the acronym, right? And I was like, what gives? And so I talked to some of my friends, and they recommended this book, which was awesome. And the biggest takeaway from this book is the concept of tone. And this was something that really helped take us and give an extra edge to our sales training, our sales process, and the coaching that we give people, right? And so in the book we talked about hidden dialogue, which I just love, and I just never want to take credit for an idea because I got it from him. But there's 2 dialogues that are happening, right? Because the words are the logic, right? What you're actually saying is talking to the logical brain. How you say it is talking to the emotional brain, right? That's the one's making a decision. That's the one running the shop, all right? And so how you say what you say is what you say. So here's an example. Ask my wife. She's going to be here with me soon, but if she were here, if she said, Alex, right? Or Alex, right? Or Alex. Very different meetings. Very different afternoon for me. In each of these scenarios, right? Based on how she said it, because there's so much communication, and that's just one word. Imagine a 30-minute.
Sweet baby Jesus, have mercy on my soul.
Chosen to have packed with the meaning that you need them to feel. Does that make sense? Okay.
Jesus.
So we need the words for the logical influence. We need the tone for the emotional influence. We need both. Okay. And so once you become a more seasoned, like sales rep, you can learn to control your tone on purpose, right? You can raise your voice at the end of the statement, thinking to a question. Right? It's a question. This is John. Right? I didn't need to ask him. I'm saying, you know to answer that as a question. I didn't ask you that, but you know that in tone. Right? I don't know my voice right now, so you know what I'm saying? Extremely important. Right? Tone matters. And so it takes time to develop a level of unconscious mastery.
We're getting naked, people.
So there's 2 ways to develop this. And I believe that you can either trick yourself into it or you can train yourself into it. And since I don't have enough time in 30 minutes to train on the influence of tonalities, here's the trick. Is that all right? Let's give you the hack. Conviction will correct your tone. If you believe in what you sell, you will say it the right way. And that's why some of you guys have a sales rep who comes on, crushes it, and then tanks. Because they did believe, and then they saw your reviews, where they got customer support feedback, or someone called them up after buying it, was like, fuck you, I can't believe you did that. And they're done. And then all their tone's off because they feel like out of ethics, right? And so I'm lowering my tone right now so you know that this is really important, right? And so, I'll go upbeat.
That's 70.
Back up, all right? And so, real estate sales team consulting. This is a great story. So I was flown out, paid way more money than I should have been paid, to fly out and consult with the sales team. All right, they were selling mortgage leads, the example I was giving earlier. And they were really excited. They wanted me to give this ABC Always Be Closing chat, like this huge pump-up chat. So I spent the first half of the day on the script. The second half of the day was supposed to be drilling the sales team, right? So I get on the sales team. They got a 9-person sales floor. And they were like, we're having some problems with this guy, John. I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, John, how good are the leads? He was like, well, you know, there's kind of, and I was like, I'm good, thank you. And I was like, because if you fucking thought the leads were good, you would say, dude, they're unreal. I can't believe it. Right now I'm getting my mom to pass her real estate certification so I can start sending her leads. I'm studying for mine. I'm a couple months behind. But I'm telling you, as soon as I fucking get this thing back, I'm out of here. I'm going to start buying these leads myself because I make more than I make right now as a sales guy.
Damn, that's 80,
That's
baby.
What you say if you believed.
Wait, is it 80?
The way you say what you say
Yeah.
is entirely different.
That's 80.
It's one of the hacks on this, by the way. Has anyone ever gotten hot or has a sales guy who got hot, starts closing? Anyone? That becomes the sales training for that person. Because the way they ask the question, at what point, how they closed, that's how it's perfect. And so they should study the best game footage when they're on a streak. And that's
I'm tired.
Replicate it much more easily. Because it's like in the wild, they witness it, and that's when they're masters, right? In those moments. All right, and so these are the actions that we do. So I'm transitioning into tactics for you guys who have teams, all right? Reread the testimonials out loud daily in front of your sales team. If you got fresh ones, which you should, read them. Makes their day. Makes them feel like they're making an impact, right? They're getting the shit kicked out of them every single day. Getting hung up on, getting cussed at, getting told to fuck off every day, right? And like, the best thing you can do is give them a cup of coffee that says, hey man, you're fucking doing good in the world, right? So they need, so do it every day. Number 2, fix everything you can about the product. This is obvious, but I want to say it directly, like don't blame the customer for lack of success because it doesn't help anyone, right? It doesn't help them, doesn't help us. If we can take ownership, then we can fix the product, right? 3, never stop improving it so you always know it's up to date. And this is a good one for the sales team. If your sales dip, take your head of customer support, bring them to the sales meeting, and say, Erica, tell these guys what you do for our customers. And they're like, oh, well, the first day what we do is we send them this text, and we send them this letter, and then we have this flag, and then we follow up with them.
All right, let's do another 10, and we're set.
Massage and foot massage, and then we find a life for them. It's unbelievable, you know what I mean? And then the sales guys are like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I'm like, I know, let's go sell it, right? And so these are the actions that you do on a daily basis to get your team to be excellent. All right?
8.
So that's how you can hack conviction.
9.
Get your team's tone unconsciously correct by just truly believing.
Let's go. All right, let's do some squats, baby. Why not? We're tired.
Conviction framework number 2. Check.
Let's get it.
All right, number 3, scaling framework. How to easily duplicate this process across salespeople in any niche in 7 days or less. All right? So we've talked about closure framework, we've talked about conviction framework, and this is the, oops, I think I'm gonna skip one. Oh no, we go back. Great. So when I showed my sales team this stuff, they didn't do it every time, all right? Because you're probably gonna come back from here all gung-ho, you might show them this video, and they're like, yeah, and they go rah-rah for 2 to 3 days, and then it's like back to normal, right? No one wants that. So piece by piece, we implemented processes to get the same outcome over and over and over again. Because of the $110 million we've sold, which is crazy, it's been 100% over the phone. No one over the age of 20, no, we got one guy who's 40. But besides him, everyone's younger than $27. 27 years old. All right? Like these aren't like crazy, you know what I mean? Like crazy veterans, right? You just do this process over and over again and get the right thing. As a total aside, find people and educate them about your prospect, not your product. Because that's the big fuck up, because like they shouldn't even be talking that much about the product. They should be knowing everything about the prospect. And so right now, if your sales training is focused on your product, you're doing it wrong. These are the 6 C's that I use to scale teams, from little guy to lots of guys. All right, so this we use this to build a 3,000 person affiliate base in our physical products company. It added 35 million in sales, which is cool, which is awesome. And so I will show you how this works, all right? And so we've used these sales teams, and this is how these were all multi-figure teams, and I'll show you what we did, all right? So closure sequence is the first C, which we went over earlier. The second C is consistent daily training and conviction, and I'll show you how to do each of these. Call recordings, you gotta record them. Communication cycles, cuts, and competition. Those are the 6 C's, all right?
Gas.
So, number 1, make sure you have a question-based framework that follows those steps in the script. It should just be questions. It's so much easier to just follow questions. Because if someone's out and, out in left field, you know, wandering on, like onto the highway. And you're like, whoa, hey, come back over here. This is the next question in this process. So thank you so much for sharing that. That must have been so hard for you. So what do you think that brought you? Right, go right to the next question of the sale. All right. Number 2, consistent daily training. This is the number one thing. If you take one thing away from this, besides conviction, because that'll do more for your sales.
Let's see. What's the one thing?
Second biggest thing. All right, is that daily training. Our team trains 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week. We actually do twice a day stuff, but that's okay. Anyways, for right now, if you just do this, you'll already be way better than everyone else in your market. All right. So we do talking and listening because a salesperson needs to know how to speak, the right tone, know how to listen. Right. And so we drill both skills. For talking, we have them read the script out loud and the questions with the correct tonality.
Either way. Dream team. I do it for you. I do it for me. I do it for we, the people. Let's go.